News photography is the cornerstone of photojournalism, but you can explore various types of photography that help you to express your creative potential. You can choose to focus on people and take portraits, or you can focus on nature and take landscapes. You can cover the environment, you can cover the lifestyle of people, you can do architectural photography or aerial photography. You can also do astrophotography or long exposure photography. We are going to look at all of these briefly in this video. Let's look at different types of photography now. We start with portraits. We can take portraits of different people of different ages and with different expressions. Through a portrait, we seek to express something about that person which our lens captures. When we take portraits, we try and get the essence of that person and something that catches our attention and makes us discover the person through his or her portrait. The portraits can tell us more about the person, who they are, where they are, and what do they do. A portrait can cover a person, a subject from a rural background or an urban background. The portraits we saw before were in natural conditions and were not staged. But sometimes we may take portraits of people who look into our camera and who are aware of the presence of the camera. This portrait of a woman who is lying on the grass in the golden hour is definitely a photograph where the subject knows that she is being photographed, as also is this next photograph where, being shot at night, this lady is aware of the camera's presence. Some photographs are done in natural situations and some are posed. It depends on the need, that is one taking a photograph in a photojournalistic manner, or is it for a client or an assignment where one wants to take an editorial photograph and wants to profile the person in a certain way. And that is when we will take photographs such as these. Landscape photography is another type of photography through which we can exhibit the various forms and shapes of nature. This series of black and white Himalayan mountains photographs have been taken by Mr. Gurinder Usan and reflect his deep love for the mountains. If we find our passion and our interest, then we seek it, we go for it. And he has travelled to the Himalayan mountains and taken these photographs, even though professionally he is a photojournalist. He has always said that landscape photography is very important for him to express himself and his creativity. From these photographs of Mr. Gurinder Usan, Now we move on to these series of other landscape photographs, this one being one of the aurora in Iceland. And these other landscape photographs taken by other photographers depict their vision and their ways of seeing nature. Our pictures can also focus on the environment and show what is the state of the environment. We can take photographs of air pollution, water pollution, and the way we are polluting all our natural bodies. The menace of plastic pollution and of use of single-use plastic. And how, as humans, are we managing our waste management systems, and the amount of garbage that we generate. So, there are a lot of possibilities for us to take photographs that document the environment. Our pictures can also focus on lifestyle and people, how people live their lives, how they celebrate festivals, how do they spend their time, and what livelihoods do they have. Their festivals, their days, their celebrations. We can document how people live and their styles of living through photography. Architectural photography is another type of photography where you can cover different kinds of architecture and bring them out through your photographs. Through aerial photography, we can see something from a different vision, which looks different when we were on the ground. If you're interested, we can also explore aerial photography using a kite, a balloon, aircraft, a helicopter, which gives us that particular vision from the aerial view. Panoramic photography is also known as wide format photography. The term panorama literally means all sight in Greek, and it first originated from painters that wanted to capture a wide view of a landscape, not just a certain part of it. Long exposure, time exposure, or slow shutter photography involves using a long duration shutter speed to sharply capture the stationary elements of images while blurring, smearing, or obscuring the moving elements. It captures one element that conventional photography does not: an extended period of time. The paths of bright moving objects become clearly visible. Vehicle lights draw bright streaks. Water waves appear smooth. Astrophotography or night sky photography is a type of photography where you can photograph the Milky Way, or you can get photos of the night sky and the moon. And if you're lucky, you can even shoot the aurora. You can get trails of the stars in the skies. So if you're looking for doing some creative experimentation, you can try out astrophotography. So all of these that we have just seen, portrait photography, landscape photography, documenting the environment, showing lifestyle and people, doing architectural photography, doing aerial photography, panoramic photography, long exposure photography, and astrophotography. These are various types of photography that one can experiment and explore. So we have seen different types of photography that we can engage with. What matters is that we identify which area interests us. And if we are interested in a particular field or a particular type of photography, we take that interest further by doing photography. So identify your interests and get on with exploring that field by taking pictures. We are going to continue with some more interesting types of photography in the next video.